Ranade, Gandhi and Jinnah by Babasaheb Ambedkar. 2. As you are all well aware, there are friends of Ranade who do not hesitate to describe him as a great man, and there are others who, with equal insistence, deny him that place. Where does the truth lie? This question must, I think, wait upon another, namely his story in the biography of great men. The question is both relevant as well as important, for if great men were not the makers of history, there is no reason why we should take more notice of them than we do of cinema stars. Views differ. There are those who assert that however great a man may be, he is a creature of time. Time called him forth, time did everything, he did nothing. Those who hold this view, in my judgment, wrongly interpret history. There have been very different views on the courses of historical changes. We have had the Augustinian theory of history, according to which history is only an unfolding of a divine plan in which mankind is to continue through war and suffering until that divine plan is completed at the day of judgment. There is the view of Buckle, who held that history was made by geography and physics. Karl Marx propounded a third view. According to him, history was the result of economic forces. None of these three would admit that history is the biography of great men. Indeed, they deny men any place in the leaking of history. No one except theologians accept the Augustinian theory of history. As to Buckle and Marx, while there is truth in what they say, their views do not represent the whole truth. They are quite wrong in holding that impersonal forces are everything, that man is no factor in the making of history. That impersonal forces are a determining factor cannot be denied, but that the effect of impersonal forces depends on man must also be admitted. Flint may not exist everywhere, but where it does exist, it needs man to strike flint against flint to make fire. Seeds may not be found everywhere, but where they do exist, it needs man to ground it to powder and make it a delectable and nutritious paste, and thereby lay the foundations of agriculture. There are many areas devoured of metals, but where they do exist, it needs a man to make instruments and machines which are the basis of civilization and culture. Take the case of social forces. Various tragic situations arise. One such situation is of the type described by Thayer in his biography of Theodore Roosevelt, when he says, "There comes a time in every sect, party, or institution when it stops growing. Its arteries harden, its young men see no visions, its old men dream no dreams, it lives on the past and desperately tries to perpetuate the past." In politics, when this process of petrification is reached, we call it Bourbonism, and the sure sign of Bourbon is that, being unconscious that he is the victim of sclerosis, he sees no reason for seeking a cure. Unable to adjust himself to changed and new conditions, he falls back into the past as an old man drops into his worn-out armchair. The other kind of situation is not one of decay, but of destruction. The possibilities of it are always present whenever there is a crisis. The old ways, old habits, and old thoughts fail to lift society and to lead it on. Unless new ones are found, there is no possibility of survival. No society has a smooth sailing. There are periods of decay and possibilities of destruction through which every society has to pass. Some survive, some are destroyed, and some undergo stagnation and decay. Why does this happen? What is the reason that some survive? Carlyle has furnished an answer. He puts it in his characteristic way. No time need have gone to ruin could it have found a great enough, a man wise and good enough, wisdom to discern truly what the time wanted, valor to lead it on to the right road thither. These are the salvation of any time. This seems to me to be quite a conclusive answer to those who deny men any place in the making of history. The crisis can be met by the discovery of a new way. Where there is no new way to be found, society goes under. Time may suggest possible new ways, but to step on the right one is not the work of time. It is the work of man. Man, therefore, is a factor in the making of history, that environmental forces, whether impersonal or social, if they are first, are not the last things. The end.